what's going on, guys? This is Will once again with the Wangzilla channel, and I have a quick video here going to put on some of these rear reflector overlays. These are the dark tinted version. I picked them off of Fast Tech. They have a dark version and then I guess a light smoke version. I went murdered out, got the dark ones. I'm doing the overlays instead of the actual full reflector replacement, which is another option. You can get a replacement for the reflectors in full, which would actually, you'd remove this entire piece, put in a new piece that's either smoked or clear, or they even offer some LED version ones, which I probably will go with eventually. But for the most part, it looks like if you want to do the LED ones, you're gonna have to actually drop the rear bumper, and then you'll have to get up into the taillight, and then you'll have to splice into the wiring, usually with a plug and play harness. But you will probably need to take the bumper off. I just really don't want to mess with the bumper currently until I'm going to do more things all at once. So I figure the overlays will be a quick kind of a middle ground. I can just slap them right on top of here, don't have to pull the bumper off, and it should be relatively straightforward. And they're cheap. I've probably only paid, I think, 15 bucks for the overlays, or you can just get your own vinyl wrap and probably do it for a few dollars if you have wrap laying around. And so that's what we're gonna do today. I still have a bunch of other things I still plan on doing, but it's been kind of a busy week and it sounds like it's getting ready to storm. So I'm gonna keep it down to just doing the overlays for now. Also for the channel, I did just receive this Dip Your Car Advanced Dip Sprayer. I plan on dipping the exploder over here. Not sure what color. I've never done any kind of significant paint work, body work, or plastic dip work, and I figured it'd be a cool project to do. And if anybody's interested in that, you can watch me completely mess it up, fail a few times, hopefully less than a few times, maybe only once, and then dip the exploder. And that's kind of going to be my practice round before I fix up the 84 El Camino SS right here. Get this squared away, and then I plan on dipping this. Of course, I'm going to replace the bumpers with something nicer, probably the wheels, or at least fix them up. And with any kind of paint or plastic dip, you do have to take care of any kind of rust spots, any kind of dents. Otherwise, of course, they'll show right through the dip or the paint, and then you'll have kind of a band-aid on a pig or whatever they call it. So yeah, I got this. Also picked up a welding setup I'll be getting here, I think, in the next few days. Never welded before, so I plan on doing some learning to weld. Maybe I'll document my struggles with that. Never welded before either. So I have a whole bunch of projects coming up for all the cars, all the tech stuff, and of course with the ZL1. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'll go ahead and we'll get busy with these overlays here, and pretty much gathered up what I needed. Nothing extensive. Heat gun, a little bit of soapy water, and what they say is they do want you to make sure you clean this whole area real well. Obviously, you don't want to put an overlay on top of dirt, dust, or grime. It won't adhere right, so that will be a big negative. And then you're going to want some kind of tool or something to kind of help tuck it around the seams if you need. Hopefully this works. If not, I'll have to find something better. And then of course you want to push out any bubbles or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this lens down, just using a little bit of plain old water, and then I'll hit it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and then dry it up. And then we will go ahead and spray this down with the soapy water and see if I can get this vinyl overlay to adhere. I tend to have horrible luck with these things and still have nightmares of when I try to put a taillight tint overlay on my old SVT Focus. And as soon as I peeled off the overlay and went to apply it, a storm hit. My neighbor decided to mow the lawn, and yeah, so that was a complete disaster. So this being a little one, I don't foresee any issues. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'm gonna clean up the other side here, and then we'll go ahead and get to the overlay portion. And I have the reflectors nice and cleaned off. got a flashlight here just to kind of give a before and after of, you know, if it still reflects or not with and without the vinyl overlay. So you can see it kind of reflects pretty good, but in general, the reason I want to get rid of these reflector, how they are now, is just the gaudy red just doesn't really go with the rest of the car. Of course, it is a legal requirement for the manufacturer, but the overlay should still be legal, should still reflect light appropriately. It'll just look better when there's no light hitting it. And I believe it does say in the description it only covers 99% of the reflector, and it does leave a 1% to meet some kind of legal requirement. So I guess we will see how it looks. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera situated so you can kind of see me getting the overlay in place, and hopefully I don't mess it up. I don't want to order another set. So we'll go ahead and get this dialed in. Go ahead and hit it with a little bit of this soapy water concoction. This is so you can maneuver it around. I guess I'll put a little bit maybe on my hands so it doesn't maybe stick to me too bad. And then I had to use an X-Acto blade and kind of get this thing started. And of course it's not on for shit. It's kind of hard to maneuver this thing in here because it's recessed in there. So it's hard to get this to really line up. It says the soapy water should let me slide it around, but it's not. Once it's laid down, it's pretty much stuck. And I'm gonna go ahead and dink. All right, I have it in place. It's not perfect, maybe, but it's supposed to have a little bit of a gap around it. So I'm thinking this should be good. I don't see any big bubbles. We'll go ahead and give it a little heat and dry some of this water out. Of course, not too much heat. You can kind of see the vinyl shrinking down a little bit, and just make sure you don't get any bubbles or anything crazy in there. And then of course I'm going to have to wipe it down just in case I got any little bit of dust or anything on it. And here we have the driver's side one. I think it turned out okay, as you can see here. And quick test of the reflection. Still reflects, and you still got the little corner there that's still, you know, exposed. So it should still reflect relatively good there for, I guess, legal requirements. And they say you shouldn't power wash this thing or wash it for about 24 hours, so I guess it can really adhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the passenger side and repeat the process. All wrapped up. Overall, it turned out pretty good. Definitely much darker, and it kind of cleans up the rear end of the car, so you don't have these big ugly red reflectors. Now, unfortunately, I did let myself get distracted. Had a package get delivered. I took my eye off of the reflector for a split second and applied too much heat to the driver one when I was cleaning up the edge a little bit, and it bubbled and actually melted. So I'm going to replace that one right here. You can't really see it from, you know, more than a couple feet away, so I'll leave it on there for now. It is a little discouraging, but I knew something like this would happen, so definitely learn from my mistake. Do not get distracted. So I guess I got excited for a package that turned out to be for my wife and not even for myself. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see right there, it kind of melted almost a little bit, so now it's like a little wrinkle or something. It's not like an air bubble or anything, it's actually the plastic vinyl melted a little bit. So I'm just gonna order another one of these. Like I said, they're pretty cheap. I'll pull this one off when I get it, no rush, because like I said, you can't really tell from more than a few feet away, so it's not end of the world. I think I did better on the passenger side in general, yeah, so there we have it. Overall, it looks pretty good, much cheaper than the alternatives, but do be careful. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. And hopefully I'll get the BMR rear cradle lockout and the front rear cradle chassis braces in place here maybe this weekend. And I do have a number of things I need to do for the Explorer. I got some lighting upgrades for the Nissan, and of course the El Camino. I have a ton of work for that. So stay tuned, and feel free to subscribe, like, let me know what else you'd like to see. I'm definitely open for any suggestions. And yeah, enjoy the ride, and thanks for stopping by. Peace.